Hello everyone, it's Shane Conto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to Wasteland Talks, my weekly talk show where I talk about whatever the hell I want. And I cannot believe it's the start of another baseball season, and this time I have my brother Ethan and my friend Dave here together, recording live in person. Obviously you won't be listening to us live. This episode's going to be coming out a couple days after opening day on April 4th, but we're all excited for the start of another baseball season, and this is our preseason breakdown of division winners, who's making the playoffs, who's winning the World Series, picking up some awards, and maybe a few other things. And maybe we could even talk a little bit about our fantasy teams, if that would be some fun. But thank you both for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to be here. Can't believe it's the start of another season.
And we're wondering if Ethan's shirt's going to upgrade this coming season from National League champion Phillies to World Series champion Phillies. And I'm just wondering, maybe, just maybe, the Diamondbacks could come in third place this season instead of fourth. Still thinking the Rockies are going to come in dead last. But we'll find out. Or we'll also find out if they basically hand any other players to the St. Louis Cardinals. But, you know, that's just the thing. But first things first, we're going to walk through each of the divisions in baseball and talk about who we think are going to win each division. Do we want to start American League or National League?
Let's go with the American League. Save the best for last.
Ah, yes. And we're going east to west, so we are saving the best for last. Well, starting with the American League East, which might be one of the most competitive divisions, Dave, who do you got?
Well, I think I'm going to go with what I picked last year, because since they kind of underperformed, so going to give them another shot, and I'm going to go with the Blue Jays.
Makes sense. Dave's also going with them now that they have one of his fantasy team standouts, Dalton Varsho, on the team. Because that's the upgrade they needed. But yeah, that is true. Toronto definitely underperformed last season and kind of just like everybody expected them to be the ones competing with the Yankees, and that just didn't happen. Ethan, who do you got?
I'm going to go with, I want to say it, the Yankees, first place.
Why are you thinking Yankees?
Because friggin' Yankees.
Fair point.
I think last year showed that they can have the worst run after the All-Star break and still get in first place. So I'm thinking that's going to just be a thing, but they'll shit the bed. And
I was the one who played it safe last year with all of my picks, and I definitely had the Yankees going to the World Series, or at least championship against the Astros. I can't remember.
You picked the Astros to win the World Series.
I did, yeah. So
Fuck you, Shane.
I jinxed it. I'm picking the Yankees too. I think they have too good of a combination of like young, talented players coming up and Judge. And you have other like Nestor Cortez. That's going to be interesting to see if he could pitch that well again this season. There's always that thing of like, was it just like a one-off kind of season coming back?
Well, I'm hoping not. I put some stock into him.
Fantasy League. And then you would think Garrett Cole will try to like hopefully turn things around for them a little bit. We'll have to see. They still don't let sticky stuff anymore. So we'll see if
that's why he should have played in the World Baseball Classic.
There's memes everywhere. After Shohei Ohtani showed his glove to the umpires, and they're like, oh, we don't need to see that. Garrett Cole joins Team USA next day. But no, the Yankees won't let any of them play. I just think the Yankees are too talented and find ways to win. I do think this is going to be the most interesting division because you do have the Orioles, who were the big surprise team of last year. Tampa.
Yeah, to most people.
To most people.
People who pay attention.
Except for Ethan. Tampa, who somehow, some way, just finds ways to win. I don't think they can win, but they're just going to keep finding ways to win. And then, are the Red Sox going to bounce back in some way, shape, or form?
No.
We're going to have to find out. All those teams in the AL East have to beat up on somebody. So.
Well, when you think about it, they didn't do anything.
I don't.
They extended Devers, but like they let Bogarts go.
Yeah.
And he was their biggest guy on offense.
But they got Justin Turner.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just glad he's not a Dodger. Well, I don't like Justin Turner. But so it looks like we got 2 Yankees and a Blue Jays coming out of the AL East. How about the worst division in baseball? We got the AL Central. Dave, who do you have?
Well, this was certainly a fun division last season. I don't think any of us quite saw it playing out the way that it did.
No.
If I remember correctly, we all pretty much thought it would just be the White Sox running away with it again, which definitely did not happen.
Biggest underperforming team in baseball probably last season.
But I think I will go with the Guardians. I know that they kind of put together a nice run at the end of last year. They at least put up a fight when they got into the postseason.
Yeah.
So I think they have it in them to do it again, especially with, how that division was last year.
Absolutely. How about you, Ethan?
I'm going to go with the Twins.
Why do you have Twins going over the Guardians?
They technically re-sign.
I was about to say, after 3 teams, Carlos Correa goes back to the Twins.
Really, it was a roundabout way of re-signing somebody.
For a lot less money.
And, it worked out for him pretty well. And at least
worked out for the Twins, yeah.
Annual value. I think the lack of the shift's going to help. Joey Gallo went to Minnesota, correct? Yeah. Well, he's going to get probably 20 more hits this season.
The shift only matters if you hit the ball.
Yeah. But most people are striking out 200 times a season anyway that hit dingers. So I feel like, he's at least somebody that can spark the offense. And then when you have Correa, and they have pretty good pitching.
Who did they get from the Marlins that they sent the batting leader down to Miami? Because the guy who won the batting title for the Twins last season got traded to the Marlins. I'm trying to remember who. I'm going to fact check that real quick. But did you have anything else that you're going to add?
No, I just think with keeping Correa and adding him, Gallo, he can't be garbage again. He might be, but he looked really good in Texas, and he went to the Yankees and he sucked. But
we'll have to see.
A lot of people do that. They go to the Yankees and they look really freaking bad. So I think they did enough to make a difference.
They traded for Pablo Lopez, right-handed pitcher, and 2 prospects for Luis Arias, who went down to Miami. That was one trade that I remembered because that's interesting, trading the batting title winner from last season, who
they must have been pretty good prospects then.
And held that off from Judge. Wanted that Triple Crown. I'm going with the Guardians. They seem to have a team that they could always find ways to win, and they have a lot of great talent. Jose Ramirez, definitely an MVP candidate. Really impressive player. I just don't think Chicago's turning things back around this season.
Well, they lost Abreu.
Well, they also lost Tony La Russa. So
that can help.
So that might help them. But they did lose Abreu. He went to the Astros, didn't
yes.
he? Oh my god.
Yeah, it made them stronger.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So that's a nice segue. So we got 2 Guardians and 1 Twin. Anybody not picking the Astros to win the West?
As much as I hate to pick them, I think I'm going to have to.
All right.
Do we know how long Altuve's out?
last time.
That'll be interesting if that makes that big of an impact.
Well,
they also
he's their
lost.
catalyst.
They also lost Justin Verlander, who is by far their best pitcher, but they also have
really good
Alvarez,
pitchers,
and then
so if you want to look at the division as a whole, the Angels didn't do jack.
No.
To get better.
No. They just made
Texas sure as hell did. But
I still
you need to see if DeGrom even pitches.
It's true.
It's not even being an ass about it anymore because it's been a constant for 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, but they did get a lot of pitching.
Yeah. They replaced their whole entire rotation.
Maybe
if
like Simeon decides he wants to play like he did with most homers of any second baseman in MLB history.
Mm-hmm.
If Seager goes ahead and lives up to the money they paid him because he didn't do that great last year.
No.
But yeah, I think when it all comes down to it, if Texas doesn't gel with all their new pieces, it's going to be Houston again because LA's not doing anything. The only other team that could possibly do it is Seattle because
really good team.
Since the past 2 years, they can easily be a sleeper. So
yep. And we just don't talk. We don't talk about the future Las Vegas Athletics. Because
we don't talk about Bruno.
We don't think. I don't think the Athletics are staying in Oakland much longer. Looking pretty bad. They're atrocious. Terrible, terrible team. I had the Astros. I bet on them last year winning this division. I'm not betting against them this time until that team blows up.
Which it will, just because they're going to get old enough to where they're done.
The only thing is Altuve being out so long and not having Verlander, who had arguably the best pitching season out of anybody last year.
Oh, he in years though is that pitching performance of last year.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
So and they have a great bullpen too. They have Presley at the back end of it. I still think they're
definitely
know. Yeah. I think it's going to be close. Closer, though.
Yeah.
I think Seattle can give them a run. And it's all, like you said, it's all going to come down to if Texas pieces actually, click together. They have a whole new rotation. The rotation has, one ace if healthy. And then a lot of solid guys.
Second and third starters.
Yeah.
Mainly third starters.
So it'll be
at least
they've definitely improved.
They have 4 or 5 third starters.
Is Lance Lynn on Texas or is he on the White Sox?
Well, he was on the White Sox. I'm pretty sure he's still on the White Sox.
Okay. Because I couldn't remember if he was on their team last year or not. Didn't notice the White Sox a whole lot last season. Except for the bad article, the bad headlines of Tony La Russa being an asshole. That's the AL. So unanimously we have Houston, 2 for the Yankees, 2 for the Guardians. So right back to where we were last season. So there you go. Heading to the NL, this is going to be real interesting.
Oh yeah.
NL East. Are the Phillies pulling out this division win?
Yes.
I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say it's going to depend on when Harper gets back. If Harper actually comes back in May, I think they're winning this division.
Yeah, he just needs to not have a setback because he will be back if they don't push him and whatnot. That's the main thing that they have to worry about.
I'm going to sound like a jerk here, but I don't really think losing Reese Hoskins for the year's the biggest blow.
It's not the end all be all.
No. And after they picked up Trey Turner and Taijuan Walker into the rotation and revamped, I'd rather have Taijuan Walker than hoping that Noah Syndergaard comes out and pitches really well each start.
But the thing with Taijuan Walker, he's kind of like that too. It's he lights it up or he sucks.
We'll have to see. And they revamped their bullpen, along with a bullpen that pitched incredibly well the end of the last season. And you have a lot of young talent, too, but fighting for some spots on the team. I just feel like they have that red-hot momentum. They're an exciting team. I think the Braves are still a great team. I just can't say... I can't, in good conscience, be like, the Mets are going to win this division, because they always choke. It's like, no matter how talented they are. I just feel like I can't be like confidently say because like the Mets have the talent.
Well, they already lost their 40+ save closer.
Well,
for the year.
So
he's not coming back.
No, that's gonna be a tough thing because their best option in the bullpen's now Ethan's favorite player, David Robertson. So. But the thing is, you have Scherzer and Verlander in that rotation.
Potentially. But it's the Mets.
So they have that's the thing. Both of those teams. So I think the Braves are pretty consistent, right? They didn't do a whole lot.
It doesn't matter. They find a way to get in.
So they didn't do a whole lot. They didn't lose a whole lot. I think they're still going to be a really strong team. It's just the Phillies have a scary team. It's just the one thing that I'm worried about with the Phillies is if they could play the field. And I still think that it's an issue. I really hope that they choose to put Castellanos at DH most of the time and have somebody else play right field.
Well, you have Bohm, who got a lot better
in
the field. Then you have Trey Turner.
Yep.
You have Bryson Stott at second, and he's good at fielding. And then, Derek Hall, you're not going to lose defense.
At least he's a first base.
Yeah, you're not going to lose defense.
Yeah, it's not like you can be much worse than...
Rhys Hoskins was a first baseman, though. That's what his position was.
Well, they had him playing left field for a few years beforehand. Well, he came into the majors, he was playing in the outfield.
Yeah, Gabe Kapler screwed him up.
It seemed like he forgot how to play first base.
Yeah.
And make basic plays.
And then Brandon Marsh can get it in center. Kyle Schwarber doesn't have a problem catching anything.
No, it's
whoever's going to be hanging out in right field.
And I still think they should definitely put Castellanos. I don't know who they put in right field.
Who did they pick up? Harrison.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because he's technically a center fielder. He could be a center fielder, and you could put him at a corner.
I feel like at this point they're going to have to do that until Harper gets back. Yeah. But any thoughts you want to add, Dave?
Like you said, I think a lot of what they did this offseason just helped to make them better. I think considering what they did last year and how close they got, they definitely have that drive in them. I think they have a lot more depth going into this year. Just watching them in spring training, they have a lot of guys even on the bubble between being on the bench and being in AAA. So I feel like even if they have injuries, which really they already do that they're trying to deal with, they do have guys that can step up, and they had that last year too, but I feel like even more so now that they have a lot of options to work with.
Quick side question. Do they go for a first baseman if they're not getting a ton of output close to the trade deadline?
Probably, because they weren't even really 100% confident that they were going to want to sign Rhys Hoskins this year.
I think that'll be interesting if somebody comes up available. There's a lot of first basemans out there. So that'll be an interesting thing.
But you also have to add the outlier in for the Mets too. Their new pitcher.
Who did they get? Bass.
The guy from Japan.
Oh,
right.
So
that's the thing. It's just it's
Matsusaka, isn't it?
It's gonna be a tough.
No, that's Mets. Never mind.
It's gonna be
Yoshida is Matsusaka.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big division.
Yeah.
And then Nationals are still gonna be trash, and the Marlins are going to be a pain in the ass of everybody like they always are. Yet can't string together a whole season of winning, but they could be a pain in the ass to everybody. How about the Central? Dave, who do you got?
Let's see. I think I'm still going to have to go with the Cardinals. Last year I went with the Brewers, and they pretty much looked like what usually happens to the Phillies.
Yeah.
I don't think I have much confidence in them going into this year. I feel like the Cubs may be better.
Yep, it looks like they will be.
But I still don't feel like they're going to be on the same level as the Cardinals.
Nope. How about you, Ethan?
Cardinals.
Yeah, I think with that, because they got Wilson Contreras, right, to replace Yachty. Like, that's a big pickup for them.
They had a lot of really good guys performing well in the World Baseball Classic on that team. So.
You still have 2 of the top 3 MVP candidates from last year, Arenado and then Goldschmidt, and they still have that rotation. Is Wainwright gonna?
Wainwright's hurt, so he's not even starting the season.
So we shall see. The Brewers still have Burns and Woodruff. They have 2 great starters. It'll be interesting to see what the rest of the team does. Does Yelich finally
I don't know what the hell
bounce back to being like an MVP candidate? We'll have to see. But yeah, I think the Cubs are definitely going to be one of the most improved teams this season. And then, the Pirates are in that trash level, and so are the Reds. So we'll see how the 2 top teams beating up on both of them. The NL West. Is anybody not picking the Dodgers?
Padres.
We got 1 Padres. So why are the Padres winning?
Bogarts, and now they have Tatis back. They don't need it. If they do not win this division, they're fucking done. Because if you can't beat the Dodgers with the damn team that they have right now, you don't deserve to lace up your cleats and go on the field.
I think my biggest thing is I don't think they gel as a team. It doesn't look like it. Who did they lost? They let Josh Bell go, right?
Yes.
Who did they replace him with? Because I remember. Who did the Padres pick up?
Albeit they do have a catch-all of players that don't belong in the positions that they're going to be in. But they're just like, let's throw the talent out there and see how it goes.
Yeah, because. They signed Manny Machado for that 11-year contract extension. They got Michael Wacha for their rotation, which I know they lost. They got Yu Darvish for 6 more years. I know they lost Clevenger, who also was in a bunch of trouble anyway. Oh, they got Nelson Cruz.
So there you have it.
So
I was trying to have Nelson Cruz than Josh Bell.
I was trying to. I don't know about recently. Nelson Cruz didn't do much at all last season. You know who
will hit 35.
You know who they should have went out and tried to get? Voit again.
I don't know what the hell the deal with that was.
No, I felt
he deserves to be on a friggin' team.
I felt so terrible. And not the Nationals. I felt so terrible for him because they were trying to dump Hosmer because he was getting paid way too much money. And he's like, no, I'm not going to the Nationals. And they're like, well, sorry, Luke Voit, you're going to the Nationals. And then they got Josh Bell, and then they dumped Hosmer in Boston. So, but I'm still going to go with the Dodgers. Only because, and I've been saying this for years, until somebody actually beats them, I don't believe anybody will. And until somebody proves me wrong, I would argue that the Padres have more talent, but somehow, with Dave Roberts and that team, gel really well together and win games.
To be fair, it wasn't Dave Roberts. It's not him at all. Because they were that when the Phillies were perennials.
Well, yeah, they've been winning.
So, they've been winning since 07, 08.
Don't remind me.
So,
the Dodgers have been winning this division
it's
for like
just,
a decade at this point.
It's the culture of that franchise.
They
It
win.
just happens.
I don't think the Giants are going to really bounce back because they won all those games without the talent to win all those games.
Yeah,
and I think they came crashing back down to earth.
Yeah, they have Kapler as the coach. You're never going to go anywhere.
And with the, I might be biased, but with the young talent that the Diamondbacks have, I really do think they can bounce back and maybe get that third spot in this division. I'm not saying they're competing because...
Yeah, it's going to be a hard-ass division to be able to take that spot.
But the only thing, it's like, I've seen all these, like, predictive, like, if they rework the divisions and stuff, if they add the 2 more teams.
I want them to do that
The
so bad.
only hope the Diamondbacks have is that they rework it and clump them, the Rockies, and the 2 Texas teams together. And the Astros are getting towards maybe a time where they're going to be falling off a little bit. And because no, Dodgers just keep finding ways to win, and the Padres have insane amount of talent on their team. But between Zach Gallen might be a shock winner of the Cy Young Award this year if he pitches consistently through the whole season like he did towards the end of last season. And Merrill Kelly better step up.
Yeah, don't play like you did in the World Baseball Classic because you're on my fantasy team. You better show the hell up.
Yeah, Ethan got Zach Gallen too. It's only
you should have picked him before.
I didn't think anybody was going to pick him up. I was literally going to pick him next.
People do pay attention to baseball, like the 3 of us in this room.
Nobody pays attention to Arizona except for me. Anyway, so we have our divisions. So quick, out of every team that we didn't pick to win a division, who's winning a wild card spot in each league?
The O's.
So you then got the Orioles for the AL. Dave, who do you have for the AL?
Well, since I went with the Blue Jays, definitely the Yankees.
I'm gonna... And because there's more than one wild card spot, but for the sake of this, I just want to throw like the one set wild card spot. This might be outside the... I'm going with the Rays because for some reason they always seem to find a way to win. It was a close between them and the Mariners.
Well, the whole wild card is going to come from the AL East anyway.
Is it?
Yes.
The Mariners, I don't know.
It is.
I think it's going to be an extremely interesting September for those wild card spots in the American League. National League, still really interesting because how many wild card spots do we have now?
3.
3.
Mm-hmm.
No, the National League's not going to be interesting.
That's all going to be from the NL East.
Well, 2, and then the Padres.
And then the Dodgers.
Or depending, yeah. So, who's your wild card team for the NL then? The Dodgers.
I mean, yeah, it's going to have to be. Yeah.
I'd say the Braves.
I was going to pick the Braves too. There's no way the Braves aren't making the playoffs.
And the thing is, like, I don't think there's any way either if it's the Dodgers or the Padres that they're not going to make the team. That's why we have 3.
Yeah.
But that the NL East is stupid, and the AL East. Well, but the NL East, I feel like is better than the AL East.
I saw somebody do a fantasy reworking of the divisions, 4-team divisions. And put the Atlantic Division, the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, and the Phillies. And I'm like...
Yes.
That would be the most insane division in
Hell
baseball. Yeah. And then second's going to be whatever California league they set up.
It would be friggin' amazing.
Oh, no. Even better. Let the Astros not be in the division I made earlier. Move the Athletics to Las Vegas and drop them in with the Texas Rangers, the Diamondbacks, and the Rockies. And then the Diamondbacks definitely have a chance of winning that division. So there you go. That would be an interesting thing to look at, like what the divisions would actually look like if they added 2 teams and reworked them. But, so we have our wild card teams. Who's going to the World Series and who's winning? Dave.
Well, obviously the Phillies for the National League. They're going all the way this year.
We got one Phillies win. Who they beating?
Ooh, American League. Who are they going to beat? Let's see. Well, I guess I will go and stick with what I went with last year and say Toronto.
Okay. Phillies over Toronto. Ethan, who you got?
It's gonna look a whole lot like last year, but this shirt's gonna be different.
So
when we
Phillies
sit here to talk about the
Next year.
2024 season.
Phillies over Astros.
Yes. Because they've seen the pictures, now they know.
They're gonna be mad at me. You two specifically.
It's okay, there's a window right there.
I think I can't not bet with the Dodgers in making to the World Series, and I think they're gonna beat the Yankees in the World Series.
That old school matchup.
Yep. So now let's think about some awards here. So we'll do the 2 AL awards. We're gonna do MVP and Cy Young.
And Rookie of the Year. Let's do it, because we need to do it.
Okay, I can't think of anybody who would be the American League ones. We'll do it anyway. So American League MVP, Dave. Who do you have?
It feels hard not to pick Ohtani.
I was going to say Ohtani
To be honest.
I think it's easy to pick Judge because I don't think the Angels are going to do shit, and nobody's going to vote for Ohtani when Judge is on a winning team and Ohtani's just sitting there not playing any meaningful baseball all season. So, Ethan, are you also going with Ohtani?
Ohtani-san.
So we got 2 Ohtanis for MVP and 1 Judge, because I'm going with Judge on that one. I'm just thinking they're not going to... I just think it's old school. They're not going to vote for Ohtani unless the Angels actually do something. Like, no matter how amazing he is. I just think it's... They did last year.
Yeah, but Judge has to do what he did last year.
We'll have to see. Ohtani's going to have to do what he did last year, too. He's riding high, though.
He just keeps getting better every year, though. That's the thing.
Well, we're going to have to see.
Yeah, we will see, sir.
And Cy Young. And remember, the AL Cy Young winner jumped leagues. So that's interesting. Because Verlander won.
Could be Ohtani again.
Are you going to go Ohtani again?
I mean, isn't this his... Is this his last year with the Angels
Yes.
on his
Yes.
current contract?
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be playing out of his mind this year.
He's like, I want to get out of here.
Well, he already has a high from...
Well, he's already going to the Dodgers.
He already has that high from winning the WBC.
Yeah.
He's either going to the Dodgers or the Mets.
I think
100%.
he's going to be like on top of the world this year.
Christian Javier.
Oh, for Astros?
Yeah. Because I can't just keep picking fucking Ohtani.
You could.
I could, but it's like, it just feels like it's bullshit. Like, it's not that... If you look at even people outside of baseball, you're just like, oh my god, this guy can hit and pitch, and like, yeah,
I'm going to go outside the
can.
box and go with Shane McClellan, the player on the Tampa Bay Rays. He put up some really good numbers, and he got really overshadowed because Verlander had ungodly numbers. So, like, there was no... Like, he had an ERA under 2. Come on now. Like, there's no way
like
Verlander...
1.75. You can't...
Verlander wasn't not going to win the Cy Young. So, we got our... Who are you going with for Rookie of the Year? That
Yoshida.
On the
Boston Red Sox. Albeit he's played how many
years? I'm just
going
to go with him, too, because I don't know anybody else who I'd pick, so...
This dude's going to frickin'... He's going to pop off. He's going to have like at least 30 home runs.
I'm going to be extremely biased with the NL one, but... So we got Who are you gonna pick? Anybody different?
I think I'm going to go the same. No one else comes to mind.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one because Gunnar Henderson too. He's going to this is going to be his first full season. So like, yeah, there's a couple I can. You okay? You okay?
He does that. We're gonna have Gunnar Henderson as a runner-up.
Yeah,
that's the tricky thing when they jump ship from Japan. They're rookies.
Yeah,
so
it's a little unfair, but I mean, because it's not like it's not like the Japanese professional leagues are like. I mean, they don't throw 102 miles an hour consistently, but their movement is stupid, and it's really hard to hit them.
Well, until Major League Baseball acknowledges other leagues, they're still going to be, you're a rookie, this is your first time in the big leagues, so there it is.
100% if there's another big league, it's friggin' Japan.
National League MVP. I think this is a really tough one, honestly. Because you have a number of Padres that could step up. You have 2 Cardinals who could easily be in the mix again. And then, depending on how big an impact Harper makes when he comes back in May.
They're not going to give it to him.
And then what potentially Trey Turner can do. The way he's been coming high into the season. And then...
It's going to be Trey.
So we got 1 Trey Turner.
That was going to be my pick too. Just after seeing how he played in the World Baseball Classic,
and then coming to like first spring training game ever as a fill-in, popping off.
He's already in mid-season form.
I'm trying to go a little outside the box with my picks. I think Nolan Arenado might have that big breakout season, overshadow Goldschmidt. And
that's if Goldschmidt's really good, but that's if he plays like he did last year. Nolan Arenado just has proven since he got up that he's MVP candidate.
Well, and he got in a tough spot with his own teammate overshadowing him. So
that's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
as a team,
for the Cardinals,
for the team, not for like.
So I'm going Arenado. Who's winning Cy Young?
Shit.
Which this is big because you got 2 Phillies easily could. You got 2 Mets who easily could. Because you got Scherzer, Verlander, Nola, Wheeler. You have Strider.
Spencer Strider, yeah.
My thought was Alcantara.
Yep.
That's another. the pitch.
So the NL East just ridiculous. And then I guess the best out of the one of the Dodgers stepping up,
I'm going on a limb.
Darvish or Gallen. I'm going to be extremely biased. I'm going Zach Gallen's going to step up and win the Cy Young this season. Who are you guys going with?
I'm going to say... Like I said, this is going to go out on a limb. But when Ranger Suarez comes back, we've seen what he can do.
Ranger danger. Oh, I also forgot to throw in, Burns and Woodruff on the Brewers, too. Because Corbin Burns can win a Cy Young, too.
Well, they have serious... The NL has serious pitching.
Yes, they sure do.
Like, if you wanted to just go team to team and face them like they're pitching, it's going to be NL East.
Our biases are showing. Dave, who are you picking?
I think I'll stick with Alcantara. I feel like, for one thing, he manages to put up those great numbers, even playing against 3 stacked NL East teams constantly.
The Phillies beat him, but
barely.
Not by much. Yeah.
So
it's not often that kid gets knocked around.
Yeah.
Guy, I don't know.
And unlike these other teams, the pitchers you look at, they're part of a more complete team.
Yeah.
He, even knowing he's
not
going to get run support.
He is the Marlins.
He still goes out there and deals.
Yeah. He's like, yo, 25 guys, get on this back and let's go.
Rookie of the year, I'm going Corbin Carroll. Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks had some big high.
The speed's at 98 on MLB The Show 23.
Yeah.
22, sorry.
The Diamondbacks are really fast, apparently.
Yeah, they are.
So there you go.
They're track stars.
Can they hit? We'll find out. But I think Corbin Carroll has a good chance of winning.
Kodai Senga.
Japanese sweep.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Andrew Painter for the Phillies.
I was going to say, if he gets
Do we know what's going on with him?
They haven't really said. It doesn't sound like, at least for now, it's not going to be like
something
really
scary.
long term.
Yeah, okay.
But
I think-
assuming it doesn't turn into that,
Yeah.
I feel like he's shown at every level he's been at so far that he's legit.
Yeah.
So at any point, if an opening comes up for him in the rotation, I think he's gonna seize the opportunity.
We'll have to see how Bailey Falter pitches.
He looked really damn good on Thursday.
Because if he doesn't look great, then I think that opens the door for Painter to come in. But if he does, that's a tough. If Bailey Falter pitches really well and Taijuan Walker pitches fine, and Suarez comes back, that's one scary rotation the Phillies have. That's insane.
Yeah, they have plenty of options for the fifth starter.
Yeah. Now, here's the fun. Random predictions. These could be specific players. They could be teams, leagues, something. What are random predictions to throw out there? Let's kind of just go around. I'm going to go first, and mine is that the Padres are going to be the most underwhelming team in the history of baseball, based off of their talent. I don't think they're going to gel. I think they're going to crash and burn.
The sad thing is it could go.
I think it would be crazy to happen, but I just have a sinking feeling they're going to not perform how they need to, and the Dodgers are just going to make them look stupid again.
All right. So my prediction is that all across baseball, steals are going to be up 50 to 60%.
Because of the new pick-off rule.
Fuck the pick off, dude. You throw over 3 times in a row. That's bullshit anyway. Like,
And if you don't
just
get them
pitch
now on the third one,
yeah.
it's a balk.
Yeah, pitch.
So,
and I think I'm going to just add to that a little bit. Trey Turner's going to have the swipe 65.
that's why the Diamondbacks are going to overachieve. Whole team's just going to be running around the bases.
If they could just drop some bunts in there and just run, like, why not?
How about you, Dave?
Small ball.
Thinking of like a little bit kind of like off the field sort of stuff. Obviously, they made the rules change with, they have the timer for pitching. I feel like the MLB is going to have like some knee-jerk reaction to that when they look at how it affects revenue. Because they've been showing games go a lot quicker now. I feel like that's going to have fans going in and out of the park quicker, less time for them to keep people there to try to sell them stuff. And
Yeah.
I mean,
that
that is true.
If those games are getting that quick, I don't know if I'm going to have room for my 7th inning ice cream by the time it rolls around.
That's not even the important part,
It's a
okay?
beer. It's the alcohol.
That 7th inning is going to hit, like,
real
that.
quick, and then he can't sell
and you
no
can't
beer.
sell beer anymore. So, Rob Manfred, they're going to show that he sucks at doing his job, and everybody hated friggin' Seelig or whatever the hell his name
Bud
was.
Selig.
Bud Selig. Everybody hated him, and then this dipshit comes in and fucks everything up. And everybody's going to be like, can you please come back? Or put somebody who's played baseball before.
My next prediction is being a negative Nancy again. I think the Texas Rangers are going to bust on all that money they spent. I don't think DeGrom's going to pitch half the season, and they're going to be back in easily 4th place. Because they can't be in last. You can't be worse than the Athletics.
No,
that
one can be worse than the Athletics.
Which I'll get back to them as my next thing when we come back around. But what's another thing, Ethan?
Let's see.
Well,
I feel like home run rates are going to go down because they don't have to launch it over shifts anymore.
that's going to be interesting.
Theoretically, because we've already shown.
Well, we're
that
already going to
people
get the
can
go
go
shift.
Yeah, they can get around with it because they didn't say shit about the outfield. You don't have to have a left fielder.
People better start learning how to hit and blooping it in the left field
No,
where nobody's going to be anywhere.
This is the thing. All you have to do is just literally just go.
It just keeps rolling to the wall, and there's nobody within dozens of yards from the ball.
It's been proven that it's effective. How many times? I mean, Bryce Harper could have done this so many more times. His batting average probably would be 450.
Just bunting it down the line.
Bun it down the friggin' line. No one's going to get to it. You can maybe get a double doing that.
Yep. So, shift's going to make some big impacts this season, definitely. Yeah. How about you, Dave?
Well, seeing as the MLB, it seems like they're not afraid to move away from keeping things traditional. I think this year we're going to see, which we have before, a lot of scrutiny with umpires, with calling balls and strikes, and I feel like we're moving closer and closer to where they're going to just use robot umpires.
They're going to try robot umps in the spring training next year. 100%.
Well, they're already doing it in the
minors,
right?
I think Major League Spring Training is going to have robot umps next season, calling balls and strikes. I think.
And then who are we going to yell at? Who's Kyle Schwarber going to flip his shit on? The greatest ejection, though, ever.
Well,
for him,
Kyle Schwarber's strikeout rates would go down incredibly.
Yeah.
And his batting average is going to go way up because
his
he
eye
got
is
called
good.
out on so many dumb calls, like the worst calls. My prediction is that the Athletics and their attendance are so bad this season. They put like red alert and they're gonna move them. Like I legitimately think their years in Oakland are numbered at this point. They're going to Vegas.
I don't think anybody's gonna watch them there either, though. It's not like a football team where you can move them and they just it's football. It's baseball.
I think it's the betting. Yeah. I think that enough people get into it because of the sports betting in Vegas.
All you gotta do is this.
Well, here's the thing.
Now you just take out your phone and do that.
They can't have much worse attendance than they have right now.
Fair enough.
How
are they gonna have the revenue to make them a friggin' stadium?
Vegas will do it. Vegas will pay for it. I think the city of Las Vegas will pay for the stadium for that to happen. But I think Oakland's moving. Do either of you have any other predictions? Any player predictions?
I think within 5 years that the divisions will be restructured because we are getting those two teams at some point.
Yep.
I cannot wait. I want to see that really bad.
More baseball.
Hell yeah. And I'll get a Charlotte team, so I can at least go see baseball only 2 hours away and I don't have to drive to frickin' Atlanta.
I'm trying to think. I felt like I had some quick ones. So, another one. Ohtani's getting traded to the Dodgers before the trade deadline.
Shut your mouth.
Ohtani is the Angels would be the dumbest team
to let him
in the history of baseball to not trade him this season to get, even if you're getting him for half a season, the amount of prospects that you could get for that trade are going to be obscene. They would be so dumb if they don't.
You can field a team. What you would get for Ohtani.
They need to, and the Dodgers have the prospects.
Yeah, because the thing
to be
is,
able to do it.
They're going to get all these prospects plus money.
Yep.
So whoever trades for him is going to get a bunch of either prospects or just MLB ready players and money.
He's going to be in the LA market still, but actually on a winning team.
I think somebody F's up. Well, not F's up. but just because the team's not that great, and they've been fumbling. I think the Red Sox pick him up. They just they sucked, so they have players that they can get rid of.
Get Ohtani?
To get Ohtani, and then they have Yoshida. They both just won the WBC together.
Still think it's going to be the Dodgers or the Mets. I think the Mets potentially going to try to go all in on him.
For just sake of them not going to the Dodgers, I need you to put some juju somewhere else. We don't need that.
I don't want him going to the Dodgers.
Well,
I'm the last person who wants him to go to the Dodgers.
We're trying to get it away from. We don't need that in baseball. No. We do not need that in baseball because they will win every fucking game.
No. We don't want that.
So I'm gonna put the juju somewhere else, and I really think like Boston has made like really weird decisions, and why not this be a weird decision for them?
And which Colorado Rocky's going to get literally handed to the Cardinals this year?
Brian.
I don't think the Cardinals won.
You just put him in left field.
They apparently have this big prospect coming up, and everybody's joking he's going to be a Cardinal within a couple years. I saw the meme.
Rockies?
Vor, I think it is. Yeah, on the Rockies, they're like he's going to be a Cardinal in a couple years. They even had a flow chart of the St. Louis Cardinals org, and right above their AAA affiliate.
Oh yeah.
Was the Colorado Rockies. They're just like, oh no. But we have a lot of interesting predictions. It's going to be a crazy ride of a season, and it'll already have started when this episode launches. So keep an eye on some baseball, and I figured we'll definitely at least do one episode maybe around the All-Star break, see how things are going. We'll do one at the wrap-up of this season to do a playoff prediction. And then I think maybe this year we could get one of those in kind of looking at the hot stove and stuff like that. And seeing how things all shake out. But I'm looking forward to another season, and we have two very excited Phillies fans here, excited to see them win a World Series this time. So see if it happens. But Ethan and Dave, thank you both for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
And thank all of you out there for always tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.